Hello and welcome to Glowing Laser Dicks. Rave dildo. Yeah, I took one look outside today and went, yep, I'm dressing in the I'm not leaving the house challenge. So I'm wearing a red karate gi, my Calgary Flames scarf, a ministry shirt, and black sweats.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have
That's
my
awesome.
limited edition merch, and I'm in my pajamas.
Yeah. I'm John Kadolf. I am the lead singer of Rave Dildo, and these are my bandmates.
I'm not in that band. I'm in this other band.
This week I picked.
This week I picked Budweiser. I don't go for Bud Light because I don't like to drink watered down piss.
I understand. I mean, just drink piss.
Yeah,
Go
he just
for it.
likes drinking regular piss.
I understand. Look, there are times when I'll sit there and order a Coors. Why? Because I hate myself. That's why.
And some people drink piss just because.
Look, some people, that's their thing, and knock yourself out.
It might knock you out if you drink enough of it.
Valid
Yeah,
point.
but
Yep.
we are
Hi,
actually indeed us three blokes.
Yep.
Indeed.
Hi, I'm Dave Nesbitt. I'm the bass and keyboard player of Rave Dildos.
I play synth.
And I have, wait, hold on. This thing, which is like German and stuff.
Oh,
And then, because I'm feeling particularly healthy today, I decided to go all in on the G&T thing. So
Ooh.
gin helps to, counteract antibacterial infections. The tonic water helps with malaria. And I put enough citrus in there so that way I can say that I'm drinking healthy.
Dave's worried about malaria.
Yeah.
I saw a mosquito in the house the other day, so.
Well, there you go.
Destroy it. Hunt it down and
Well-
destroy it.
Oh, he's too late. Once you've seen it, the only reason you've seen the mosquito is because it's too fat on your blood to move fast enough for you not to see them.
But I saw a movie that wasn't fast enough to get away from me called Uncle Peckerhead,
Oh, yes.
Yes.
and that was picked by John.
Yes.
So I don't know if John or Dave.
Boy, that was
to lead.
the most random, hasty pick I've done so far.
And it was a good one.
Well,
But, you should pick hastily more often because this film was great.
it was just so much fun. Uncle Peckerhead is about this awesome punk group named Duh. who,
I'd like to
is-
mention, I'm going to interrupt real quick, and I won't interrupt you after that until, the next time I interrupt you. But there's a song by a band called Duh, for real, and they did a cover version of the Three's Company theme as a punk tune. And it's fucking amazing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but go ahead.
We'll have to put a link in the notes to that.
It's like 38 seconds long, too.
Wow. A band called Duh. They're behind on their bills. They're about to get evicted. They're preparing for their first kind of regional tour.
Mhm.
And one of them is motivated. The other two are a little less than motivated. And, I mean, the guy had his priorities. It was understandable. He wanted to clean.
But then he got high.
Yeah, but then he
Well,
got
he had
high.
to get high. He had to get high because he didn't like to clean, and
Right.
after he got high, he had to eat because it made him hungry. And after he ate, he
It
was
made
sleepy,
him tired.
so he fell asleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the floor.
Drooled on the floor.
So we could almost say
Haven't we
that.
all, I mean,
I play synth.
Yeah. So anyway, there was an eviction notice on the door when she got home. She motivated them to get more stuff done. And so then they were going to go and load up their vehicle, and it gets repoed. So they came up with this brilliant idea to make out a whole bunch of flyers that said, "Can we borrow your van?" And went and started sticking it around the neighborhood under the windshield wipers of various vans. And they had one left, and they put it on a van, and they started walking away. And then this huge hillbilly gets out. Now, of course, that's not how the film starts. The film starts on a gory note, very
this film
gory
is a
note.
gore fiesta, front to back, and I love it.
Starting on a gory note. I remember it starting on her getting quitting her job.
No.
No, the first shot is like gory as fuck.
Yeah, the very first shot of the movie is that body with the eye torn out and the face torn off.
That's
and
true.
Yeah, and then this demon reaches down and picks up and like very sloppily pulls the bottom the mandible off of the body and decides to do a corn eat of it.
Yeah, like you do, you know.
Yeah, you know, and I it made me think of ribs, and I got really hungry. So okay, so this demon gets out. Well, we don't know he's the demon, but we can pretty well suspect it because of the van. And he gets out and he's like, did you what do you say? Did you tag my van? This is my property. And he's going on and on. But then he finds out they're a punk band and they want to go on tour, and he's like really delighted with this, and so he offers to drive them around the region
for some petty cash and gas food and money.
Yeah. Gas food.
Sure. I play synth.
And so
lawyers, guns, and money.
Yeah, so they go and they take off and they start on their tour. They go to the first place and the guy shows up really late, so there's almost no setup time. Then he's a dick, and then afterwards he gives them $3 for the performance.
That's more than I've made off my single.
And then Uncle Peckerhead's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and so he goes back inside, and then someone else eventually has to go to the bathroom, and they go inside and they witness the fact that he is like devouring the promoter.
And I just want to say my favorite moment in this entire movie is the moment when she's screaming because she catches him eating the promoter, and he screams in terror at her screaming. He's not rushing to eat her. He's just embarrassed.
Yeah. I loved that entire scene where it's just like you realize he's yelling, but it's not like he's attack yelling. He's just like,
oh no!
Yeah, he's startled as shit. I love that. I love the whole, the monster is as frightened as the victim.
He's very likable, he's ingratiating.
He's probably the nicest, like, flesh-eating guy.
Oh, you're cutting out for me, Dave.
Routinely.
That was like a perfect freeze for him.
Yeah, you froze in the middle of the sentence there.
Sorry. My internet is being goofy. He's like the nicest flesh-eating monster I've ever seen. If it wasn't for the whole flesh-eating thing, I'd probably hang out with him on a routine.
Yeah, and honestly, if the only concern I would even have if I was in that situation was if we got caught with him and being accessories.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd be just fine with touring with a flesh-eating demon.
Well,
yeah.
Who really liked me and wanted to take revenge anytime somebody screwed me over.
So basically he transforms into this hybrid of a vampire or a werewolf or something, some kind of ghoul. Demon that eats people for 13 minutes starting at midnight.
Yeah.
And if he can somehow dodge this transformation by putting himself to sleep during that time, we're cool. But there's a lot of laxness with that.
Yeah.
And he they start to trust him because they begin to treat it like diabetes, where he's just got to make sure he gets a shot or he gets make sure he eats. And then but one day bassist, who is sort of the responsible member of the band, says okay, I trust you, I'm just gonna go sleep. She wakes up to them laughing while spraying blood off of his body with a hose. And she's like, what the fuck happened? And she's like, tell him about the metalheads. So Dave, tell us about the metalheads.
Oh God. The whole metalhead sequence is absolutely priceless because These two metalheads pull up into the parking lot and start giving them a hard time, and it's closing in on midnight. And Uncle Peckerhead decides, well, we'll handle this situation.
Yeah. What I love about that is that the metalheads couldn't be more cartoonish. They take out their boombox, they turn on the loud heavy metal, and they don't even really know how to headbang.
They remind me a lot of the Skids from Letterkenny.
Okay, yeah. They're headbanging, but they only know one move.
Yeah. Long story short, he winds up killing them in a spectacularly gory way, like literally ripping off someone's head to the point where you see his spine.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was when I sent you guys the message. Best decapitation scene ever.
It's up there. Yep.
Yep. I mean, not like cutting his head off. I mean, physically pulling his head off his goddamn body.
Yeah, like Predator style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she wakes up and finds out that this happened and that she slept all the way through it. Meanwhile, they're just like spraying him down to get the blood off of him.
Like the scene in Pulp Fiction with the
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm sure you've both been in county before, so you know how this goes.
Yeah. And they're laughing and they're happy with it, but she's of course a little horrified.
I know we keep jumping a little bit around from thing to thing, but this movie is just so filled with wonderful parts. Like after the first discovery of him being there's something wrong with him, he takes them to like a Denny's basically and buys them all this huge breakfast.
Yeah.
and that's his kind of his peace offering to to try to convince them that he's harmless and that he won't turn on them, and he somehow does. We
ended up with one of the better disappointing sex scenes in the history of film.
Yes.
And then which I really kind of respected.
It's kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's more traveling and there's more murder and there's another band who turn out to be complete dicks who at some point in time take them hostage. But they manage to not capture Uncle Peckerhead, who then arrives and the bloodbath begins.
Let's talk about the competing band because they are dicks, but I kind of dug their music.
You did?
A little bit. I mean, it was intentionally bad, but I admired the way it was intentionally bad.
Oh, okay.
And I
can respect that.
Yeah, and he's just they're picking a fight with them. It seems like this regional tour is only booking these two bands because they keep crossing paths with each other, and it does eventually come to the point where they are taken hostage and killed while staying at a groupie's house with her grandmother.
Groupie's grandma's house, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And keep it down, guys.
And right after she comes to the bedroom door and says, "Hey, you guys got to keep it down, or my grandma's gonna get mad."
Yeah.
Uncle Peckerhead shows up and begins just tearing them apart.
He murderizes all of them.
Oh my God.
So Dave, you said this gets five severed heads?
5 severed heads with spines. I would like to call it trash cinema, but it's not. It's
not Grindhouse.
It's not Grindhouse. I mean, it's gory as fuck.
It's gory in scenes.
Yeah.
It's definitely gory enough so you could recommend it to a gorehound, but it's not like Dead Alive or anything.
Yeah.
But
but the script works. The characters feel like real people.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that her bandmates are kind of, in denial of the fact that they're riding around in their roadies a flesh-eating demon. Like they're aware of the fact of this, but they actually kind of dig Uncle Peckerhead.
Well, this is weird because they are in a kind of denial. They know what's going on, but they're willing to accept it as long as they can keep their tour going, and as long as he's only killing bad people or people that annoy them.
Yeah. Which I can absolutely empathize with. I'm kind of
but they do get to a point where we believe it's possible he may have killed the grandmother and the daughter.
Yeah.
And I think at that moment, that's when they start to turn on him.
Yeah, I mean that's going too far at that point.
Yeah.
Although it turns out that he didn't.
Right.
And then they all wind up getting charged with the murders, but then acquitted via hung jury.
Yeah. So if I have any criticisms, it's that ending, which kind of feels like it's wrapping things up really quickly to try to,
I'd like to see
um,
the sequel to this film, to be
I
honest.
okay. So you know how I always say Mel Brooks talks about walking up to the bell. If you walk up to the bell, you got to ring it. Don't hint at something cool coming and then don't show it. This movie does commit that sin because I was really waiting for that last scene to be a all-out massacre at the concert with like sort of a Blade level massacre, like the movie Blade, the beginning
Yeah,
of Blade.
Oh yeah.
That's what I
yeah.
wanted to see at the end of this movie.
I've
And
always actually wanted to throw a party where I could do a proper blood raise, but you know, you do it.
There actually was one in Texas, in
Oh,
Austin.
nice.
well, of course, Austin. But I think
I don't think it
probably,
was actual blood, but
no,
the whole setup, the whole thing was rigged like that, and yeah, it ended, it culminated in a bloodbath.
That's nice. I
but I
mean,
think
not,
that
not if it were real, but obviously
yeah,
if it's fake. Yeah.
but I think that's where the film kind of. I actually kind of enjoyed that last scene, and I was a little disappointed because I think they could have gone all in on the bloodbath. But let's be honest, this film was pretty much put together. It's obviously kind of a low budget film,
Yeah.
and
Although they
they
did
do a
a
great
good
job
job.
of hiding a lot the low budget elements to it.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
shot. It was either shot on film or very well lit on video because it looks like it's shot on film to me for sure.
Well, now you're getting to the point, especially with 4K cameras and such, where you can sit there and with the filter, you can make it look like 35 millimeter.
Yeah. Well, they've done an if that's what they did an exceptional job.
Yeah.
To me, this feels like an '80s movie, but not like the shitty '80s movies toward the end where the MPAA was getting a hold of everything.
Oh no.
But right around 84, 85 when movies were still really gory.
Yeah. You could have some gore, and you could have some violence, and you could have some sex, and some rock and roll. It really hits all of my high points on this. Is all I'm saying.
And the rock music's pretty good.
I really kind of dug Does music.
Yeah, I did
I want to
too.
heso hear the soundtrack to this freaking movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it does take a certain level of balls to call your movie Uncle Peckerhead. So yeah, Shudder fans, horror fans, anybody who likes gory comedies. You know what? You might even like it even if you don't like gore because it's kind of got a Shaun of the Dead vibe to it to me.
Yeah,
a little bit. Especially that first scene when she quits her job, she just can't wait to get out of there, and they're like wanting to give these big speeches about how great her croissants are or whatever it is she makes.
Yeah.
And then after she leaves, of course, they say, "I thought they tasted like shit," but
Yeah.
She's this wonderful kind of type A personality that any band really needs to be able to survive.
They wouldn't function without her.
Yeah.
No.
And I love the lead singer is like this tough guy who's like singing these really tough lyrics, but he's like the shyest guy of the group. He needs notes on what for his banter.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay. We're timing you.
It is currently 1:55. And to me, I think that's the thing that makes the whole thing great is that it captures the dynamics of the various personalities of a band. It really does capture an awful lot of the appropriate sense of humor that goes. Every band anybody who's ever been in a band that's gone out and done a few dates outside of town knows that promoter, knows the people, in the clubs, knows all of these different characters, and it absolutely fits just fine.
It felt to me like a movie. I don't know anything about the director or the writer or anything, but it felt to me a movie that somebody who had been on tour with a small band might be writing about his experiences and just happened to throw in this supernatural element.
What our tour really needed? A flesh-eating demon? Fuck yeah, because that promoter needed to get fucking eaten alive.
And let's talk about Uncle Peckerhead. What a great performance.
Oh God, he's so good, man. He manages to make that guy.
You like him. You just really like him, even though he's tearing people's heads off. And
yeah, when he's not doing that, he's genuinely very sweet and very nice.
Press play.